Welcome back to the channel. This is Stocks with Jacob, and today we're going to go over SPY and see what is going on with this big red candle here, to see if this is something to be concerned with, if we're going to pump or if we're going to dump. We're also going to go over Nvidia, see if it's going to continue to pump, and we're going to go over some defensive areas of the market, see how they're performing. All that and more next after this disclaimer. Alright guys, so let's jump right in with SPY. As you can see, we've got this nice little head and shoulders pattern that we've been talking about the past few videos, and we ended up with this big red candle here today. What does that mean? Well, in my opinion, I think it's good that we're still holding slightly above this trend line. Now, I did adjust this trend line a little bit from last night so that it kind of hits this tip here. The way I had it, it had actually fallen just a hair below the trend line. So what do I think is going to happen tomorrow? Let me go ahead and pull a fib on this, the one we had last night on here, and let's see how it's looking. I'm going to extend this out just so you can see the levels a little better. As you can see, this 0.618 area right here, SPY managed to hold above that, which is a good sign. As you know, this is the golden zone in here. This 0.618 to the 0.5 area is a great area to buy in at. And as you can see, we have been holding this area. Now, what is my concern right now with SPY? My biggest concern with SPY right now is this head and shoulders pattern. I'm going to see if this is going to play out. If you've been watching the videos, you'll know that in last night's video, I told you I was in on SPY options, and my stop loss was set right there at the 580 area, 580.64 or so. We actually got down to 580.50, and it hit all my stops. It was not a good feeling for me, but worse things have happened. I was able to take some profits this morning when it got up to the 591 area on a couple of my options, so that helped my losses out a little bit, but I am red for the day, unfortunately. What do I think is going to continue to happen here? I believe it's just looking like it's struggling right here. This area just looks like it is struggling to get back up. So I believe we're going to end up coming down here and getting more liquidity before returning back up. Nvidia actually just did this. And, the reason I think that is I think in order to carry out this head and shoulders pattern here, they need to at least run it down to here, if not a little bit somewhere down in here. Maybe we bounce off of this area here, those highs there, which would take us to about 574 or so, or maybe we do bounce off this 0.786 level to 576.51. Either way, I think we are headed for some downside. Do I think it's going to be tomorrow? I don't think we're going to get there tomorrow. If we do, I think it's going to be a rejection, a quick wick back up. The reason I say that is because there is a large put wall right here at this 580. There's another large put wall right here at 590 area. And as you can see, that's pretty much where we traded today. It's like it I'm sorry, I think I said a put wall, a call wall right here at this 590 area. So I'm thinking that they are going to keep it between those areas to end the week out. Try to hurt as many people as possible. And maybe next week is when they do their pullback to this 0.786 level, or maybe a little bit lower, before coming back up and pushing back through to get above this trend line and test new all-time highs. Now, when would that be? I don't know. We'll see if it even happens that way. We're going to monitor price action. As you know, we take this day by day, but I do think this head and shoulders pattern is going to play out a little bit here, at least to this 0.786 level. I don't think it's going to be tomorrow, but I believe we could see it happen on Monday or Tuesday. Let's go ahead and check out Nvidia and see how Nvidia performed today. And Nvidia did pretty good. As you can see, we've been talking about the inverse head and shoulders on this one for the past few videos now. And if you watched last night's video, I told you that this red candle right here pretty much completed that shoulder because it came down to the area. It came 4 cents off of the low on this one. The low on this one was 133.79, and this red candle right here ended at 133.83. So it's 4 cents away from that one. So if you watched the video last night, I told you I think this head and shoulders, this shoulder has been completed and we're ready to continue up. And we did. Did I get in on anything? No, I didn't. Of course I didn't. Should have. I know I mentioned in the video last night I wished I would have bought in here, but I was not watching it. I was on SPY. I was all wrapped up in SPY on that day. That was a loss for me. I missed out on profits on that one. But what do I think is going to continue to happen? Let's go ahead and pull a fib on this one as well. We're going to come to this September 6th low here, and we're going to pull the fib right off of that one and see what we're looking like. So if we pull the fib off of that one, as you can see, we are bouncing off this 0.382 area. Now, remember how I just told you on SPY that Nvidia just did this head and shoulders pattern and it kind of played out. Well, look at it. Shoulder, head, shoulder, and look, it went ahead and played out and it hit the 0.5 area and bounced. Now, it didn't bounce right away. It took, on day 4, it decided to push right back up. So that's what I'm talking about on SPY. As you know, if this was SPY's chart, SPY is right in this area here, and I'm expecting it to at least continue that head and shoulders to complete it before bouncing off of this point. I'm sorry, on SPY it's the 0.786 area would be this level. So I just wanted to quickly show you all that. That's what I was talking about with Nvidia. It just did a head and shoulders and played it out, and now we're coming back up to make this inverse head and shoulders right here. Now, do I think it's going to get above 540 or 140? I don't know. I know that I'll be watching it, and if it does get above 140, I'll be looking for a retest of 140 again. If it gets a clear rejection, I will be waiting there to place my orders for the push up to this area here, this 145.70, which is where I'll be taking profits and waiting to see how it reacts there to see if we're going to end up with another push up to test all-time highs. Do I think it's going to happen tomorrow? I don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow. I believe that we could end up pushing up to test the 140 area tomorrow. I mean, it's only today it's at 138.31, so I think it's a very good possibility that we test that 140 area, maybe even pass it. You got this little wick right here, and that's sitting at about, let's see, the high of that one is 141.90. So be cautious. We get up to 141.90. Just remember that there is resistance there, quite a bit of resistance there. I mean, we've got quite a few candles that have ended there, as you can see. This area here, this area here. We've got this here. This is a little gap zone here. So definitely a level to keep in mind on Nvidia. What's the bearish scenario on Nvidia? Well, the bearish scenario is we come down here and we close below 132.97. If we close below 132.97, I'm going to be looking for a pull back down to at least right in here 120 area. That's what the bear scenario on Nvidia is. Now let's go ahead and check out some defensive areas of the market, XLY versus XLP, and let's see how that's performing. Not good. Not good. That's not a good sign. We don't want to see XLY underperforming XLP. What is XLY? Well, XLY is basically everything that you buy that you don't need. Basically, if you want to buy a cruise, you are contributing to XLY pushing up or outperforming XLP. But if you're keeping your money in the savings account, you're not spending on anything extra, you're just buying the necessities like food, which is XLP, then that's going to cause out XLP to push up. So what does this mean? Well, when we're in this area here, people are spending money. But when we're doing this, people are saving money. So what do we need to know about that? One thing I want to bring up is look at where this starts to reject and come down. It's right at December 17th. Now, I don't know if any of y'all like me, but I'm not one to get my Christmas shopping done early. I believe a lot of people are getting their Christmas shopping done and they're looking at their bank accounts going, I think I'm going to wait. I think I'm going to save money. I don't think I'm going to be buying anything extra right now for a little while until I build my account back up. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that's what this could be. If it is, we'll be looking for a bounce here, which is bullish for the market. Maybe even a bounce here, depending on how long it's going to take people to get that savings built up and feel comfortable buying things like cruises and extra stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and check out US 10-year and see how that's performing. As you know, this is another indicator as to what the market's doing, and that's not good. We don't want to see US 10-year be pushing, and we've broken this trend line already. Well, I was happy when we had this rejection here, but when we pushed up and we got this big green candle, that scared me. I don't like to see that. And now, it looked like we were coming down to test this level, but we obviously got bought right back up here and we're holding pretty strong there. So that's not a good sign. That's another bearish sign for the market. Let's go ahead and check out gold. As we know, that's a defensive area of the market. Let's see how it's performing. And gold is not performing well either. So gold's looking good for those who own gold, like myself, but I would rather see the market be bullish, and gold is not looking good for a bullish market right now. We don't want to see it pumping. As you know, people start getting scared. They start dumping their money into gold, a little safer. But as you can see here, gold does tend to come up here and get a strong rejection sometimes. This is a little bull flag pattern, and we are getting close to the end of it here. So I know this isn't a great straight line or anything. It was quickly drawn on here, but we're going to see what happens with it. But it's just another indicator, another bearish indicator, in my opinion, for the market. What do we need to be planning for tomorrow? Well, tomorrow to me is a sit back and kind of watch day. Maybe we can pull some little scalps in there tomorrow. If I'm looking for a scalp, I'm looking between 580 and 590, with 580 almost being a guaranteed level and 590 possibly being, it would hit that. But if we get down here to this 580 level, I might, depending on price action, I might try a little scalp trade up to 585 or so, maybe a little higher depending on the strength, to see if I can pull a little bit out of the market and offset some of my losses today. So that's pretty much it. Be cautious, set your stops. I know my stop kind of hurt me today because it sucked right back up, but it could have been a lot worse if it would have pulled down to this 0.786 level. And as I said, I do believe this head and shoulders pattern is going to play out just a little bit further down, just like it did on Nvidia. I think it's going to come down here, and somewhere in this area here it's going to bounce. I don't think it's going to be tomorrow. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be tomorrow. I think because we have that big put wall at 580 right now, and then we got the big call wall at 590, I think we're going to range between there. Market movers want to cause the most pain as possible most of the time, so I think they're going to try to end somewhere in that range tomorrow. Stay cautious, watch price action, set your stops, guys, and we'll be back at it tomorrow night with the next video.